Hello, everyone. I'm 44 and my skin is breaking out. It just never ends. It never ends. I'll never be free. I'm Spike.
I'm Kel, and someone immediately decided to try to get buzzed in my building as soon as it was time for me to introduce myself.
I
Um,
heard that.
yeah.
Hello,
Um,
everyone.
I
I'm
am drawing.
44 and my skin is
Oh
breaking
shoot!
out.
Wait,
It
everyone,
just
pause.
never ends. It never ends. I'll never.
Okay, sorry. I had to turn off the street. Look, I have a million windows open. I had the YouTube video playing. Okay, continue.
Yeah, I'm drawing things on my stream, but
Me
if you are watching the
too.
Geek Show stream, you're seeing Spike and Amanda draw, but not me.
You will,
Yes.
at least you will as soon as I'm done
And
retweeting and juggling windows.
I'm going to go and fucking do the rarest thing of them all. I'm gonna go and honestly tweet, if you can believe that. Let me go really
Gross.
yeah,
Gross.
ew. Yeah, I feel dirty every
Today,
single time.
Today I walked past a Barnes and Noble, and one of the front-facing like new release books was a book about Elon Musk, and the cover makes him look like a supervillain. I assume that he was trying to do like thoughtful, but really he looks like he's doing the like excellent Mr. Burns hands. Like
he's a fucking moron.
He is.
Okay.
I've retweeted everything.
I was just like, that's the worst book cover.
Can everyone hear me? Because Ether Tales is suggesting I got cut off.
No, that was I think the video that was looping in the background.
Okay.
That had to go turn off because I left it open while I was trying to set everything up.
Cool. All right. And yeah, it looks like Amanda, you did it. You set it up so that people could see both my screen and your screen at the same time on YouTube. Congratulations, you did it.
I know that I did it.
Yes, you did a good job.
I know.
And I'm drawing. I'm actually gonna let me see if I can't.
I have no idea what I'm gonna draw though.
Just show people the dumb shit I'm doing here. I am drawing my stupid webcomic. It is not abandoned because I think about it constantly, even though I haven't drawn it in ages, so it doesn't count as abandoned, so fuck you. It is at blickada.com. BLIKADA. Blickada.com. It is a webcomic. I have been thinking about it all my life, really, it feels like, but it's more like 20 years. This is its like second reboot. And this is the one that's gonna stick. I can feel it. And part of the reason I decided this is what I'm going to draw for my whole inaugural I'm going to draw on stream is that I was reminded of the existence of the movie Come and See. And like Blickada is not inspired by Come and See, but you know, elements. Anyway, is my canvas even moving there?
Oh shit, give me a second.
I don't think it's moving.
Oh no.
You might have selected to share the window that's all the different pages, not the actual canvas.
No, I can see it. Give me a sec. Oh no.
Oh no.
This is okay, I might not be able to monitor the stream. And God, so we're having a problem where I might not be able to draw with everybody.
Well, now they can see it.
But now I can't. Well, Spike, again, you're on a delay. You're on a delay. So you're going to have to give me a second. I think I have to move everything over so that I can monitor things in a different window. I have 3 monitors and they're apparently not enough to monitor the chat and monitor the stream and also draw and also we'll do this different later. This was the fast way to do it, but I think I got it. I just won't be able to see half of the chat.
Okay,
but that's fine. I just gotta make sure shit looks good.
All your hard work.
There we go.
Also, I've been super annoying my friends because I've been being the friend who found a song she really likes like 2 hours ago.
You say this like this is a common thing?
And trying to force everyone to listen to it so that when I talk about it, they'll know what I mean. And
yeah, you just picked
like, we'll listen to it later. And
because
I'm like,
we're busy. It's not because I don't want to. It's because we literally had a thing we had scheduled for hours.
It's like I'm 16. They're like, I'll listen to it later. I'm doing stuff now. I'm like, no, you got to listen to it now because it's great. It's like, okay, I'll listen later. It's like, no, now.
I guess since we're doing webcomics, I'll just doodle characters from the webcomic that I want to do next year.
Oh, but yeah, when we last left...
Oh, wait, I can actually work on my own web... Wait, I can work on pages. Yeah. What am I saying?
When we last left the Idiot Harry Elfman, let me turn off the sketch layer here. When we last left the Idiot Harry Elfman, Bettany, who is... Let's see if we can't do this very quick. Bettany, who is... line layer. Oop, let's make it black. Bettany, who is this fella right here, right after he beat a man to death with his literal bare hands, he came home with newspapers, and he is showing them to Eki, who is this guy, because he thinks Eki is smarter than him. Now, keep in mind, none of these guys can read, literally none of them. But Eki maybe knows more about the world than Bettany does, and he asked Eki to tell him what was going on in the newspaper. And in case you do not recall, I'm just going to show really quick what the newspaper was. Can I find it? Yes, I can. Here it is. Okay, so this is the page that he is looking at. This is the page of the newspaper that Bettany saw and is trying to figure out what is going on. Yeah, you guys can see that. Okay, yeah, it is. So you see these people. There's a lot of text. There's a caption on the photo. A house is burning. If you can zoom in real quick, a house is burning. You can see that it's been mildly vandalized and then set aflame. And up front here, you see some people in some kind of uniform, and they've got somebody there with them who is definitely not having the greatest day of his life. So Bettany is down here looking at this newspaper here and just kind of, and he brought it home, and because he doesn't know what it is, and he wants to know what it is, and he thinks maybe Eki knows what it is. And Eki is looking at it, and he goes, "This is a tent." And Bettany goes, "What?" And Eki goes, This here is a grass eater tent. They carve them out of wood and plant them in the dirt like they're food." And, r/technically the truth. It is a house. It is made out of wood, and it is to a degree planted in the dirt. So Eki isn't completely clueless, but there's clearly a lot he doesn't know, and that has got to be easily my favorite thing about settings that are set in sort of like a pre-information age setting. There's just a lot people didn't fucking know. And what they did know, they kind of had to interpret through their own understanding of the world. And I haven't really gotten into it yet, but these guys come from a herding culture. They don't grow things. Like they say on fucking Game of Thrones, on the Iron Isles, we do not sow. That these guys don't make this big deal about how they don't plant things, but they just don't. They just don't. It's similar to, like, folks in Africa who live almost exclusively off of their cows. They eat the meat, they drink the blood, they drink the milk, that kind of thing, and maybe supplement with other stuff. And folks on Siberian steppe who were strongly attached to their horses and ate them and drank their milk and that sort of thing. Like, you can actually get by without ingesting plant matter. You can do that. And that's what their culture is. So they find it very weird that there are people who never move and make their houses out of trees and eat grass.
I mean, you can also be nomadic and just know where shit's gonna grow as you...
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But Eki, Bettany, Ta, their people don't eat grass. So these are not guys who actually eat bread. They wouldn't know what bread is. Anyway, that is where we left off. And now this is the page that's kind of been circling for a while. And by the way, I have no script for this. I just know how it goes, which is how I've always...
Then you do have a script.
Kind of shit. Yeah, but I don't have it written down, I should say. Okay. I have no written script for this. And so this is Ta, and Ta is basically expressing some skepticism and saying, how does a tree get big enough to live in? Because he doesn't understand, or rather I should say, why not? Who cares at this point? They don't understand what the fuck Eki is even saying. Like,
Amanda, I like your weird unicorn rabbit girl.
She's like, I jokingly say she's like a giant fat narwhal, but she's kind of a nothing. Like a lot.
Wow.
Well, no, I mean like most of the characters in this comic are a type of animal. She is like, she's like her and another character. I kind of like the way like characters in
the
like
Animaniacs aren't really
goof
dogs
troops.
or
Yeah,
cats or whatever.
they're just
generic
things.
creature. Yeah.
That's her and her sister. They're like the characters that are not a thing. They are not a specific thing. They're just an animal person. Like, but everyone else is an animal person. Just try. They're just supposed to be kind of weird and stand out. Also, she's like 15 feet tall, I think. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Excellent.
Giant fat walrus.
I support her.
I support her decision to be large.
Yeah.
I mean, it is actually a decision.
Today I figured out a writing thing that was a problem for a future City Between story.
Nice.
I saw it's one of those things where you figure out a solution and it solves two problems at once, which are the best writing solutions. So Connor's husband in City Between is a trans guy, but because he is not a main character, it hasn't come up yet. So I'm like, how do I get the fact that he's trans to come up in a way that isn't interrupting exposition?
It's a choice to be
like,
yeah.
And then the other thing is a future City Between story involves a guy that goes missing. And the person responsible is supposed to be a villain that is actually so competent they should not get caught. So like, I need a scapegoat, like that is a frame job. So like, maybe the reader can figure out that some of these details don't line up, but it's okay if they don't. It has to be a believable enough frame job that someone doesn't question that being the solution to the problem. So I think like what I decided was the person who is going to be the scapegoat, what they are doing is going to accidentally magically affect Connor's husband, like just through random chance, which causes Connor's husband to go to the hospital. And while they're trying to figure out like why he collapsed and had to go to the hospital, one character is going to suggest like blood pressure or something like that, and Connor's response is, he's been on HRT since he was a teenager, so he always gets his blood checked, so it is definitely not that. They would have caught it before then. Like,
that's pretty elegant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's relatable because, as I mentioned before, some people have kind of picked up on it. And, I can say it in here because only 7 people are watching, so I can fucking ruinate the shit out of my own story.
What about me?
But yeah, Ta, who is this person here, I have flat out said in various things, Ta is a third gender, which is pretty common. Well, not common, but it is a thing that happens and is acknowledged as a thing that happens in their society. And so Ta would be what we would call assigned female at birth. But Ta has decided that they want to basically fulfill the male role in their society. And this is a thing that happens. It's a thing that they go, oh, okay, you're blank. And there isn't really they have a very strongly sort of gender segregated society. Like all the males live over here and all the females live over here. And so there's actually a role for someone who's kind of fluid in that way, where they could go into the female tent, but also into the male tent. and be regarded as male socially. So that's what Ta basically is. And I kind of sort of hint at that slightly. Let's see if I can't find it. No, not that one. No, that's Bettany's head. I don't want to do that. Let's see if I can't find the illustration. I did. Is it in my desktop? Is it in ICC images? Maybe. Let's see. Basically, I drew
big
a
ass
little
hair from the front.
I drew a little thing just for fun because I was like, oh my god, I haven't drawn in a million years. My life is pain. I never get to draw anymore. My life is pain. But I did end up drawing something, and maybe it's
she only has this big ass hair for this chapter. Then it's
she looks
gone.
like Dolly Parton.
She has lots of hair. I did a sketch once that was like her braids and her, like, she has like these gold rings as like a ponytail holder for her her braids, and I joked that they're her hair's power limiters. And if she drops them, her hair just goes poof.
Good. That's good.
Yes.
I support it.
She has big hair. They can only be contained by heavy objects.
And this is the comic that you intend to put online, right?
Yes, this is the Purima.
The one that you said is like Sonic with the serial number filed out.
Not anymore. That's how it started out.
Okay.
No, it's one of those things where that's how it started out, but it's like now it's so different. It'd be kind of hard to go with this character used to be that character.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the goal ultimately. You start off in a place and you end up in a different place.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be unusual. So,
but I'm hoping to tap into a market of, look, Sonic fans have been eating slop for years,
and you are here to provide the slop.
No. The not slop.
But yeah.
The not
really,
slop, actually. Yeah. Thank you.
This is a thing I put on Blue Sky in October. And it is Bettany as a child. And you know it's Bettany because he has stripes. And it is Ta as a child. And you know Ta is assigned female at birth because Ta has a long tail. And Ta has a thing. A slit down the front middle there. What's wrong?
I just said the most mean thought.
What?
I don't know. I'm gonna type it to you because I had. Oh.
What? I'm dying.
I'm typing it. I can't say this out loud. It's such a horrible thought.
Okay. See, now I have to read it. Are you gonna be mean to me?
No, it's not mean to you. It's mean to someone who's not.
You're fucking killing me.
I'm typing it. It takes time to type.
Amanda is typing it as we speak.
I have to know. I'm so impatient. What is? We're all just sitting here watching the Amanda is typing thing. Oh man.
I know.
Amanda!
No! I told you I'm a bad person!
Oh, Amanda, no!
I told you I'm a bad person!
Oh my god. By the way, my canvas disappeared. Bring it back.
I'm going to. Don't worry. I just needed you to know. I needed you to know. There. That was it. See, that's why I laughed and was like, oh no! I'm going to hell! Anyway.
But yeah. Bring my canvas back.
I did. Spike, it's on a lag.
Okay.
Spike.
Yeah. But yeah, that was me.
Yes.
I'm glad you didn't say that out loud.
Yes. I'm going to hell. Straight to hell.
Yeah. But yeah, and here, this is me. This is literally how I script. I'm going to do a page like from the raw for everybody here, where I just like, I know what needs to happen on this page. So here's the text. And basically, after Ta goes, how does a tree get big enough to live in? And then Bettany just goes, shh, but why is it burning? And Eki replies, how should I know? Full of gods, maybe. Or shit. They never move from one spot their entire life. It could be either. So the whole, he kind of doesn't understand. I mean, to be frank, he doesn't understand, like, toilets. He doesn't understand shitting in one spot your entire life, which is I've never experienced plumbing, which would be factual. He has never experienced plumbing.
Oh, I forgot I changed these characters' designs. I have to go bring up my own references.
Yeah, so
I'm in hell.
So there we go. That's going to be the dialogue on the next page where he says it could be full of ghosts and it could be full of shit. It could be either because grass eaters stay in the same spot their entire lives. Maybe that's why they're burning it. And that is how these people who descend from a nomadic culture sort of rationalize or wonder about people who are, settled and agrarian because they don't know anything about these people. And I am super dissatisfied with pretty much all the sketches, so we are erasing everything and start from scratch.
I'm drawing the character I have jokingly called Apology Roger.
It is a choice to be tall. Oh.
I started answering reader questions on my Patreon, so I'm letting everyone watching this stream right now know that they should send me questions so I can answer them.
And right now, one of the reasons I have, by the way, when you do a comic in when you do a comic in Clip Studio Paint, you can choose spreads or you can choose single page, and I choose spreads because I want to make sure the new page doesn't look too much like the old page. So while I'm sitting here quietly trying to figure out how to get this dialogue on this page,
yes, Apologer,
in two different panels, like on this page, without making it look too much like the previous page, I'm sitting here quietly trying to decide how it's going to look. And I have attached to my desk, like every other cartoonist in the Western world, Wally Wood's 22 panels that always work. And I am looking at them right now going, okay,
I don't have that on my desk.
Oh, it's super useful.
I have post-it notes about all the things I need to collect in Warframe. Because I forget.
I found out that
this is terrible.
Skyrim updated
Jesus.
To have a thing called survival mode.
Didn't it already?
Well, I think it was a mod before and now it's official. So I didn't have it because I play it on a console. And you need to eat, sleep, and the weather can hurt you. So I started a new Skyrim game. I have already frozen to death multiple times.
Congratulations.
There's also no fast travel, so it's a huge pain in the ass to sell all the shit after going to a dungeon. And it takes the kitty cats longer to freeze to death because they have fur.
Naturally. Does it take the lizards less time to freeze to death?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There we go.
The Nords and the kitty cats, and the orcs. I don't quite understand why the orcs, but those three are resistant to the cold. And the lizards are extra sensitive to the cold.
The orcs are resistant to the cold probably because they are primitive coated, and primitive coated species are usually considered hardier. So.
Oh, is that why I'm so hardy?
And you're very hardy because you're primitive.
Or maybe their skin is thicker. I don't know.
Maybe they have like elephant skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Animals
they kind of look like they have elephant skin. They kind of look like they have elephant skin. I
have a bunch of post-it notes and several gecko terrariums on mine. Yeah, I have this like clear acrylic monitor memo board stuck to one of my monitors, and I just put post-it notes all over it because it's the only way I remember shit. I need like visual reminders, and they can't be digital because digital is easy for me to ignore. I have some due dates written down. I've got that. Actually, I can take that one down. That's no longer applicable to me. That one's no longer applicable. So I have a bunch of work stuff, and then I Oh, that's the name of an anime I need to watch. Yeah, someone recommended me an anime, and I wrote it on a post-it note and put it on my monitor board. There's also, again, Warframe things because I keep forgetting the things I do and do not have.
Mm-hmm.
And this Warframe is most games are, I think, any kind of game. Honestly, never mind. I think any game where you collect.
Oh, are you about to fall down a hole a little bit?
No, I'm just.
Okay.
I realize this is not Warframe specific, and I was more like just getting lost in the semantics and shit. No, I realize, like, honestly, any game where you collect things or you have to keep track of your inventory is bad for people with attention span issues, which I definitely have, it seems.
Yeah.
Because, like, I will be like, okay, today I'm going to hop in Warframe. Now, what I really want to do in Warframe today, for example, oh yeah, there's Plague Star. I want to go do the Plague Star event. And I'm doing that because I want Forma, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. I log into the game, get distracted by Nightwave, go do Nightwave for a while, then go, oh wait, what was I going to do? Relic hunting. Yeah, then I'll go do relic things. And then I'll go, and then when I finally remember I wanted to do Plague Star, I'm out of playtime, and I'm like, well, next time I'll do Plague Star. And then I don't.
Matt used to play a ton of Warframe.
I think he started again.
I kind of understand what you're saying.
It's just one of those games where, like, there's so many things to do. There's just so many things to do.
Also, I saw folks who complimented the art I drew, and I appreciate it. Thank you. I got very up my own butthole talking about the characters and what they're doing and my precious babies and stuff, so I didn't acknowledge the people saying nice things, but I'd like to do it now.
Oh, there's scales off. This always happens. Sometimes when I draw over sketches, I always make the characters bigger than the sketch. I do not know why.
You know what drawing digitally has super fucked up for me forever? I can never go back to, like, doing comics on paper, I don't think, because, like, I'm at this point now where I need to be able to resize things after I draw them.
And so that is why I pencil digitally, so I can easily, like, resize stuff. But I still ink traditionally because otherwise I get caught in an undo, draw this line again, undo, draw this line again, like, problem, like a perfectionist problem. So I do a digital pencil and then I print it out.
I think for me, I'm still in that phase where drawing traditionally is still, even all these years later, I haven't drawn a traditional comic in 1,000 years. However, all these years later, it still comes so natural to me that I make less mistakes when I draw traditionally.
Oh, dang.
So I actually do. I don't know what it is. It just feels right.
Well, so it's not necessarily that my digital inking has mistakes in it. It's just I'm more like, I think that line could be more perfect.
No, that's fair. But what I was about to say is the reason I personally don't draw traditionally anymore is because I can't handle the stacks of paper and replacing my supplies all the time. Like, I just can't. Like, again, I live in I mentioned it on a different stream, but before I moved up here, I decided to go through all of my stacks of Bristol board and pick things that I wanted to keep, and everything else that I didn't have a specific reason I wanted to keep it just got shredded. So, like, I went like I only have like maybe 30 Love Me Nice pages now. The rest got shredded. Same with a bunch of Slipshine pages, shredded. I kept some that I really, really liked. I'm like, would I put this on a wall? Okay, then I'll keep it. Because it's just, I can't. Because when I was, like, moving up here, I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to? I literally am moving to a 400 square foot apartment.
Yeah.
Where do I put these giant boxes of things that I never look at?
Yeah.
Like, you want to keep all your art.
To keep everything.
Yeah, you want to keep all your art, but at the same time, it's like, what? I'm just going to keep these giant boxes that just do nothing? So,
yeah.
I don't have to do that with digital stuff. Also, I had a really tiny workspace, so, like, one day I'm going to make a comic with ink and brush again. I'm going to do it. I'm going to return to Monkey.
still love my brush and paper.
Like trying to ink with a butter knife on a ceramic plate. Yeah, it kind of is. You get used to the feel though.
Yeah.
Like I have an old ass Cintiq. It's a 21 UX. I bought it secondhand. I love it to death. It's a war horse. It's old and reliable and sturdy and heavy, and I'm going to wear it into the ground. I will not replace it until it literally refuses to work. I just love it so much.
I used to have that. I upgraded mine recently. And the reason why I upgraded is because mine was getting really hot. Like, so I don't know if something was like malfunctioning inside of it, but it was like just super, like, it was impossible to use in the summer. Like,
Ooh, that sounds very uncomfortable.
But they do get hot too. Like, even when they're working correctly, they get really hot.
Well, the newer ones don't.
That's what I'm saying. Those 21 UX, I used to have one.
Yeah.
I bought mine originally. I bought it new from eBay, and it was fine. But like, I actually realized. So my thing is, and this is why I've always I've been like oddball out with cartoonist friends. I actually draw small. So I drew on, the biggest I got was like 9x12 Bristol. I never drew on anything bigger than that. And sometimes I would even draw comic pages smaller, because I mean, as long as you scan it high resolution, who cares? So my Cintiq was actually like, I realized when I would draw my Cintiq, as the way I would have my pages zoomed, they never took up the entire screen. Never. I never zoomed in that close unless I was getting lost in the sauce, the detail sauce, which does happen.
No, the best.
And my roommates at the time, Lynn and Joseph, had a Cintiq Companion, which they got for travel, but one, they weren't actually traveling as much as they thought, and two, they didn't like drawing small. So we kind of did like a swap. We swapped, and I paid the difference so that I could draw on something that was small. And I've been enjoying it much more. It's a 13-incher, so it's like, half the size of the other one, and I draw small. It's who I am.
I love drawing big.
God, me too. Because when you shrink it down, you look so competent and capable.
That's what zooming's for.
I was thinking about getting one of the big iPad Pros to travel with and draw. Because I do currently have an iPad Pro, but my complaint about it is it was too small. But now they make big ones. And the current iPad Pro I have, I mostly now use as a cash register at conventions. And so it'd be nice to like get more use out of it.
What I like about the 21 UX is the buttons on the side, and they're programmable, and now I just have all the muscle memory, And these days, to me, it seems like they don't put the buttons on the side anymore. They put them on like a little pad off to the side. I don't like that. I want them on the side.
No, it depends on the version you get. So they have a thinner, cheaper version that doesn't have the buttons, but you can get the one with the buttons.
Yeah, I can't function without these buttons anymore.
Yeah, so
that's what macro
because I was like looking into it when figuring out what one to get when I upgraded, and they do have the buttons.
By the way, I keep flipping back and forth between pages because I'm trying to make sure that everybody is the right distance from one another in the way that makes sense to where they were on the previous page. So that's what all this is about. And I am...
How could you?
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
I'm just making sure in case folks are wondering. I just don't know what to do.
I have like, I if normally what I would be doing, if I wasn't handling the stream right now, I would have on my other monitors my previous pages to look at. So
yeah. One of the nice things about Clip Studio Paint is, let's see if I can pull this over so everyone can see. It has this little navigator window.
A lot
here.
of programs do, yeah.
Yeah, but it also has this thing which is called Subview. You'll notice it has a completely different comic in it. And for example, if I didn't have things laid out like I could just like go into Subview. I could open the previous page in Subview. And if I was like, oh, I forgot how to draw this person's face, I could just like zoom in on Subview and have it open off to the side while I'm actually drawing on the new page. I really fucking love Subview. It's really cool. Just move everything back how it was now.
If I ever have extra money again, I would love to get some kind of tablet to draw on as I go, because I don't really have that. Like, my Cintiq Companion is supposed to be that, but the battery has been fucked since the day I got it.
Oh.
So you have to have it plugged in.
Oh, yeah, there was a whole generation of Cintiqs where that was like a recurrent issue.
Yeah.
I had, for a while, they repaired that for
free. Well, here's the thing. I bought it secondhand.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm not the original owner.
Yeah. I remember when it was like a huge deal for me that I could actually afford a Cintiq new for the first time, and I ended up getting a Companion, the one you were talking about previously, for travel. I ended up getting one of those for myself. And it was part of a bad batch, which was a known issue. And the bad batch was that it wouldn't charge unless it was plugged in. It wouldn't take a charge, I think is a better way to put it. And I was really upset because I was like, oh, what kind of luck is this? My big trophy, my big reward for making it in this crazy world. I actually bought myself a first-hand Cintiq and it doesn't even work. Of course, this would happen to me, FML. But when I Googled it, suddenly there was just like immediate type ahead for like Cintiq Companion Generation 1 will not work unless plugged in.
Yeah.
And it took me to a specific page on Cintiq's site that was just straight up, our bad, we fucked it, send over your receipt, we'll send you a mailing list, we'll fix it and send it back to you. I was like, oh, okay. I thought this was going to be like a big fight with customer service, but no, like they're all fucked. All of them. It was a bad batch. So yeah, my Cintiq Companion got fixed for free.
Who's typing on their phone?
Not me.
Me.
I heard the tippity taps.
Tippity tap tap tap.
There we go.
Yeah, I would love something I could actually travel, like, not really travel, more like work, hang with friends. Because, like, I really like to work with, like, hang out with people when I work. But it doesn't. It's hard. It's hard. Because I can't drag this entire thing with me anymore.
Yeah.
And I would love to have a portable something. Okay, the tippity taps.
It's not me.
Sorry. No, it's okay. It's like I got ear problems. I got brain problems. I shouldn't be alive.
Yeah, Friendin. Fuck yeah. I love Friendin's brushes. Here, let me show you some shit. You can't really see it on my screen, so I'm going to pull this over again. Okay. Hopefully you can see it now. It's really small. It's in the corner. There is a palette I use just when I'm drawing Blackada, and it's all altered Friendin tools here. Well, most of them are. The way I do Blackada, I use Holly Hatcher, that's Friendin. Pigman Mycon, which is like a cartoonist in joke. I use Pigman Mycon too, for my lettering. The red and
what's the joke?
There was a really popular pen people drew with analog called Micron Pigma. Was the
yeah, they still make those.
These are
still
Pigman.
Really popular.
Yeah, but these are Pigman Mycons because they're digital. And I have the hairpin sable, which I ink with on occasion, and the real pencil is how I ink Blackada. I usually like really slick inks, but for some reason I prefer a rougher look to Blackada, so I actually air quote ink it with something called 2H real pencil too. And hairpin sable, real pencil red, real pencil blue, Pigman Mycon, Holly Hatcher, those are all Those are all friend-in brushes. I have a custom brush, which is not a friend-in brush, which is just so fucking like weird and stupid. But I really enjoy using it, and I enjoy doing things this way, so this is how we're gonna fucking do it. And this brush, I'm just gonna do it really quick and messy. You're probably looking at it going, that's stupid. What the fuck is that? This is an Ames guide. This is a fucking Ames guide that I made as a brush in Clip Studio Paint, and I can do that. It has a lock on it, which means it can't be changed because that's the dimensions I draw at. This Ames guide, I can use it to make sure my lettering is nice and straight because I still letter by hand using the Pigman Micron brush.
I would rather die.
I enjoy lettering by hand.
No.
I do too, but it was taking too long, so I had a font made. But rather than the Ames lettering guide brush that you have, Spike, what I did is I just scanned a sheet of lined piece of paper that I made with an Ames lettering guide. And so that then like copy pasted that piece of paper to every comic that I did while I was digitally hand lettering.
So yeah, that's what that looks like. And I know it's stupid, and I know people are like, that is really labor intensive, and I don't get it, but it's what I want to do, and it looks nice, and I end up with lettering that looks like this, and I think this lettering looks really nice. You know, I think this is good lettering. I'm proud of this lettering. I'm happy to let this out into the world. And
see, I have a custom font using free software, so my font's really janky, but me not care.
Oh, one more thing too. Yeah, this is another custom brush I wound up making. The text for this newspaper, it is a brush, and I have to be careful about using it, but it is a brush. And here we go, new page. Yeah, if I want to put text somewhere, I just do that, and it randomly selects from a very large library of pictograms. And this way I don't have to, it's like this is a world that has the printed word. This is a printed word. And that way it doesn't it's not weird that like, you know, this stuff looks so regular, but I don't want to like make up new pictograms all the time, and then
it's not different than traditional comicers and graphic designers using Letraset or whatever.
Yeah, it's super fucking fun. I just really love doing that. That's really fun. And the final pages, you'll notice there's a lot of hatching on the final pages. This this is a good example.
You have a custom lorem ipsum.
I do. And thank you so much, Miss Salisbury. I really am happy with how my lettering looks, and I'm not happy with a lot of what I do ultimately when I'm making comics, but I'm happy with the lettering, and this is easily my favorite exchange in the entire comic so far, which is, "You got shot. I know. Is a bullet in your skull? I don't think so." And no, the bullet is not in his skull. It missed his skull. Not by much. There's a chip in the brim of his hat that shows you by how little it missed, but it missed him. He's fine.
He's not fine.
He's not. No, well, no, he's not fine. He hasn't been fine in a long time. But he's
nobody in this comic.
Nobody in this comic's fine. Nobody's fine. Like, he just killed somebody, and then he lied to his, like, you know. He said, "Where's the wagon man?" Got away. And that was the guy they were trying to rob. And no, he didn't get away. Bettany caught him and beat him to death and drowned him. And then he just told his siblings that he got away. So, you know. So, you know, he's not the person they think he is. And he has an investment in, and his investment in them not knowing that he literally fucking kills people is
most killers do. I've noticed.
I'll get into it later in the comic, but part of the problem that he has noticed is that he has been sort of Ta's parent figure, which I'm trying to illustrate with this previous panel here, where he does the whole "I'm not angry, I'm disappointed" thing when he finds out that his younger sibling has been stealing literal fucking bones of sapient beings and making them into musical instruments, which is kind of like tacky. But he's doing it, and he just goes, you shouldn't do that. And it's, Ta clearly respects Bettany's opinion there, because he was like ignoring Eki, and then when Bettany just says, dude, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again. The problem is
he will do it again.
Bettany is old enough to remember when they weren't like gross assholes living in a cave somewhere, and he knows this isn't like the ideal way to live. He knows that there are better ways to exist than this. Ta is not old enough to remember anything different. And Bettany is afraid that if Ta finds out he literally murders people, Ta will think that's the coolest shit ever. And he doesn't want his younger sibling, who looks up to him and thinks he's neat, knowing he murders people. Because, you don't have to own a crystal ball to understand that will not end well. So he hides from his brother and his sibling that he is a killer. What's your comic about, Amanda?
A lot of things.
Mine is about shitty guys living in a hole. What's yours about?
A little rat girl who gets stranded on Earth because she's too fucking gay to live.
That sounds complicated.
It is. They live on this like isolated island that is not a part of Earth. It's like kind of like it exists on its own little pocket dimension, and she's got a crush on a gross rabbit girl. So
why?
Because she's gross and cool.
Because she's too gay to live. Weren't you paying attention?
Yeah. That was all the explanation you needed. Why did she have a crow?
Yeah, that's why she has the crush on the rabbit girl, because she is too gay.
Well, that would suggest she has a crush on everybody then.
What?
Yeah, if she's too gay to live, that would mean that she's in love with every girl she sees, right?
No.
No? So how are we qualifying too gay to live here?
She gets stranded on Earth. She literally gets stranded on another planet.
Oh.
Because she's ogling a girl.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
Thirsty as shit, basically.
In as much as a preteen can be, yes.
Okay. So it's like
no, I guess she's
level.
technically a teen.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crush level. It's I am stupid. And I know what love is. Like, no, you fucking don't. Oh, no.
So stupid, embarrassing teenager love for somebody who would just be like, aw, if they knew about it. Okay.
Like, there's a joke in a previous page where her caretaker's like, so have you even spoken to her? And she's like, yes, I watched her eat three. Well, it used to be corn dogs, but that didn't make sense. And now it's like, I watched her strip 3 corn cobs clean. It's like, he's like, true love.
There we go. Okay, I think I finally got a fucking panel here.
Terminal gay, yeah.
Swear to God.
To be fair, once she gets to Earth, she does like develop crushes easily on pretty much everything. Then that's like her character. She's like, oh, I like you now.
More than 2 people in a fucking comic scene is like Grand Central goddamn station. Keeping track of where everyone is.
Maybe for you.
It is. Yes, definitely for me. Definitely for me. Also, I'm gonna fucking sit here and just ruin my comic just for fun because I like to talk about it. Okay.
No. So I have a question.
Home. Hold on for a second. What's up, babe?
He's not.
Come here.
He's not a part of this stream.
Yes, he is.
He's not down here.
It's not here. Come in the room. No. Come talk to me in the room right now.
All right, what is happening? Who you got here?
No.
Matt's allowed.
Okay. Folks, do you want story time?
No.
No.
All right.
Yes.
All right, so it's story time.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Amanda, boot Spike from the call.
So when I headed out to the office tonight.
Wait, it's good.
When I headed out, oh shit! Before I do anything else, let me.
Okay, oh. He's leaving. He's leaving. Okay. He's bumbling around in the kitchen, everybody. I'm hearing banging. I married a spider monkey, by the way. Mm-hmm. So you have to imagine him just like knocking things off shelves and bumbling around my home. And making noises. Also, look, either Tails wants to hear. Yes, story time.
No.
Why no?
Because this is our time. This is not Matt time. Matt can get his own show.
He has no outlet. Have some pity, Kel.
He has you.
Let's not want story time. We don't have story time. But here,
oh, thank you. Okay, seriously, do you want story time or
go
you want Matt
it.
to
go for it?
Okay, all right, Matt, go for it.
Okay, so when I headed out to the office tonight, I was charged with bringing back frozen gyoza from the excellent Asian market near our office. But I remembered that I was out of beverage at the office, or virtually out of beverage. So I stopped at the grocery store along the way to get a big old case of Mountain Dew. And I saw that the Mountain Dew cases there, like 12 can or whatever cases, they were like $9. They were $4 if you use like their special digital coupon thing, for which you need to use their app, which had logged me out ever since I got a new phone. And so I ended up standing in the aisle for like 10 minutes, like redoing all the app, redoing my password and all of the nonsense that sort of thing involves. And, I used their coupon thing. I tried to check out and it would not give me the discount that it was supposed to get. So I had to get somebody over to help me with it. And there was this long process. She didn't know how to do it either. She had to get somebody else over to help her. And the problem was this whole process took a long time. And I had gyoza to get. And the trouble with getting the gyoza is that Park to Shop closes at like 8, and it was starting to get late-ish. Not like 8 yet, but still wanted to get over there before it closed in case they were, I don't know, not observing daylight saving time or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I rushed. I didn't even stop off at the office to, as I was planning to do, to chisel out all of the accumulated ice on the freezer so that I could fit the bag of gyoza in there. Folks, for those who did not watch me leave today, I had a hammer and a screwdriver in my backpack in order to chisel the ice out of the freezer so that I could store that bag of gyoza in it. So,
did you get stopped at security for having weapons?
I didn't do that before going to Park to Shop because I was in a rush now because the whole Mountain Dew process took a long time. So I went to Park to Shop, got the gyoza, got the potato chips and salmon skin, and also a little can of tea. And that all went great. I went back to the office, but of course now I don't have a freezer that I can fit this bag of gyoza in. So put all that stuff down. I pull out my hammer and my screwdriver, and I start chiseling away the ice from the freezer.
Yeah.
And then I hear a hissing noise.
Oh.
And
what
a
did
little
you do?
jet of. So
did you stab a? Did he stab a can?
Excuse me. Worked.
You broke the fridge!
I broke the fucking fridge, yeah.
Matthew!
I tried to tell you when I came in. I didn't want to bury the lead on this.
Matthew!
That we need a new mini fridge at the office.
Jesus fucking Christ!
We kind of needed one already. It was not doing great.
Matthew!
If it requires me to bring in tools in order to fit a bag of gyoza in there was already a problem.
He killed my fucking fridge!
But let me tell you about the new problem that I created. So what happened was, it turns out that the reason why there's been ice accumulating all around the freezer, and the reason why, like, everything stored on the top shelf of the fridge area gets freezer burned, turns out that the way that freezer works is by circulating coolant through, like, the actual shelf that you put stuff on. Like, it's basically an exposed cooling element. So one stroke of the screwdriver nicked the coolant line, and it was leaking unknown mysterious coolant gas. I just assumed that it was Freon. I tried in a panic to seal it up with the tools that were available.
Matthew.
The tools that were available in the office. The best I could do in that office there was packing tape and like crazy glue. Obviously that didn't work. That was a forlorn hope anyway. Like I needed something like completely different. Epoxy, electrician's tape, clay would have been better. So of course I also managed to get the crazy glue all on my fingers in the process. My fingers were numb. I couldn't even feel it.
Okay, Mr. Bean.
Like, sticking
all
together.
right.
Seriously, this is where we're going tonight. So eventually I realized, okay, no, this fridge is fucked. Maybe I can still keep using it as a fridge, if not a freezer. Like,
no,
this is also a forlorn hope because it's probably all
the Freon
on the same
is gone.
circuit.
You've killed it.
You can
so
put
I
it back
started, like,
in.
Googling up like Freon leak danger, and in fact, I'm like, Freon is a noble gas. It doesn't interact with shit. It's gonna be fine. No, it turns out no, Freon is dangerous.
Yes.
They talk about. I actually debate how dangerous it is. I think it's not very dangerous, but still, the websites in their websitey way are all, no, you have to take this very seriously. If you leave this alone, you might get a headache or die. And so,
same thing.
I know. So I figured, okay, we'll find website. I took all the stuff
the
out
headache
of the fridge.
is the warning to leave before you die.
Kel says the headache is the warning to leave before you die.
This is I think this is exactly the case. But just in case, I decided to take all the stuff out of the fridge and throw the fridge away. Once I managed to get the fridge unloaded and loaded onto my little cart thing, so I could take it down to the.
Better not have thrown away my open monster.
I read the back of the fridge.
Tell him
that it was not even Freon in this thing. It was some completely different gas, which, as far as Wikipedia is concerned, is very safe. But I'm like, okay, no, the fridge is fucking dead anyway. I'll just throw it out. Instead of keeping it in the office as a weird wet bread box. So I took it down to the trash compactor down there. Managed to bang my finger badly against, like crushing it between the mini fridge and like the metal railings outside the trash compactor.
Charlie Chaplin.
This is not my usual day. So I threw that stuff away, head back up, and I got nothing to keep this gyoza cold, so obviously I have to come home. So that's why I had to rush to the fridge before telling the tale here. I decided not to even ride a bike home because I looked at the traffic and I thought how my day had been going, and they're like, yes, it would be entirely the trajectory of this day for me to get hit by a fucking car
again.
So I walked, and with all that stuff in my backpack the whole way. And yeah, that's how my day's been going. And we need a new mini fridge.
I've never loved you.
Yeah, I can tell. But no, seriously, I'm not as broken up about this as I might be otherwise, because honestly needed a new.
Spike, tell him he better not have thrown my open monster away.
To store all the stuff.
Amanda wants to know if you threw away her half-finished monster.
You drank that monster last year. You drank it, or you okayed me to pour it down the drain.
Okay.
But I did definitely not throw it away without asking. Speaking of things you left at the office, though, that your hat is still there.
Yeah, that means you never got your Iron Circus corporate card. You gotta.
I don't need it yet. I don't need it yet.
During which you have to activate them, we might end up having to get an ending card.
Yeah,
it's for conventions. It's not convention season.
Yeah,
I'm
not
fine.
Need it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Also, I might not be getting it ever, so
I can sort of hear people through your head.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
but
it's not important that I get it.
That's how my shit's been going. I'm going to I'd probably drink soda or tea. I don't know if I brought my tea with me or whatever.
By the way, you're all being denied the fucking majesty of my incredibly ragged husband here, who is wearing a t-shirt that looks rat gnawed, literally full of little holes, like the kind of t-shirt Kanye West would pay $7,000 for in a boutique. But he came about the fucking rat shoedness authentically, because that shirt is 10 years old.
Well, these rich motherfuckers don't know. You just buy the cheap stuff. It ends up looking like that normally after a year.
Yeah, and he is just wearing this. It's from Pandemonium.
Books and games.
Pandemonium erupts in Central Square. It's from a Bostonian gaming store.
It's from Cambridge specifically.
Cambridge.
Yeah. It's a great place.
nice. I own 2 shirts for that joint, and I haven't been there in, I don't know, 10 years?
Oh, speaking of the home freezer, hey, we just we got back a lot of freezer space recently.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was why yesterday was fucked up.
Yesterday was very fucked up. Yesterday was the day we finally put my dog Lucinda in the mail to Kansas City to the taxidermist. And it was a taxidermist who came highly recommended. We went to their website. We liked what we saw. And we don't want Lucy like stuffed and mounted, but what we do,
that would honestly be too weird.
That'd be too weird. We're not,
at least for me.
No hate for people who do that to their pets, but it's not our vibe. What we wanted was this person, they own flensing beetles, domestic beetles, and we want Lucy's skull. And that was apparently too weird for our local vet because they had no one to recommend. And we had to basically use Blue Sky for it. Like someone actually said, hey, I have a friend who does that. Here's their website. I was like, oh shit, this is perfect.
Really cool.
So, hey, networking. And it turns out this friend is good. And part of the penalty for being good is they are busy. And they're all like, can you keep her in your fridge for like 2 months?
Was that just 2 months? Because it sure felt like longer.
It was months.
It was definitely
months.
It was basically since the Lackadaisy campaign. That's when
Lucy
died.
Yeah, Lucy died. I'll never forget. My dog died like the day Lackadaisy hit 1 million.
Fucked up.
That was an emotion there is no word for.
That was a weird.
Yeah, that was a feeling there is no word for. It was strange.
She died, like, to make everything clear to me, she died at the end of a long illness. This wasn't like a shock.
Yeah.
We really saw it coming.
It was. Yeah, the vet actually tried to be all like, "Hey, it's time to start thinking about." And we were like, "Fuck you!"
We're all like, "No, we're gonna feed her from an eyedropper until the very last," and we really did.
We really did, yeah. And
like there was a day came when we couldn't get her to like swallow the food we were injecting into her mouth anymore, and like we started that's the point where we were like giving in, and we started calling up. I'm really sorry to bring folks down here. This is
sorry, everybody.
But like this is
this is just a thing that's been.
This is the shit we've been through, and like we're on the other side of it, and things are better now.
Oh yeah.
For us anyway.
But we were calling up like home euthanasia people, and they were literally saying, "Yeah, we can be there in like 2 days," and we were just looking at each other like she's not lasting.
We really knew she was on her way out. So like by the time she did die, it was
really
like as fucking cliche as it is, it was definitely a relief to all 3 of us.
Yeah. But she had to stay in the freezer for months while this person worked through their wait list,
which was it's just a heartbreaking ordeal every time I put away some ice cream. It was a very fucking weird thing.
Yeah, and we dealt with it by like she's in there because we love her. She's in there because we love her.
But like every time I would, it was a reminder. Like to even think about going to get food was a reminder.
She wasn't in there like just in there. We had actually.
Yeah, well, she was wrapped up in her blanket, and then around that, like a garbage bag,
and then another garbage bag. Yeah.
But we knew.
We knew what that was.
That wasn't fucking okay.
That was just. Hey, that's not the case anymore. We took her out, and if you have ever wondered how one mails a dog to a taxidermist, what you do,
especially if you're fucking us,
if you're
you do it very.
I don't
want
to fuck you.
Very carefully. We bought a cooler. We bought how much money?
A $65 Igloo insulated fiberglass cooler.
I actually thought it'd be more.
We bought a $65 cooler, and we bought a whole bunch of ice packs. And we froze the ice packs, and we put Lucy in the cooler.
And then we put a whole other box around
that, and we put the address on it, like 2 different places inside the box, and then a different place outside the box.
And I took it down to the UPS store
and overnighted it.
Where they asked me what was in it, and I had to tell them my dog.
Yeah.
And they needed to be reassured that the dog was deceased.
Yes.
That there was not a live dog in this sealed container I was giving them like some fucking psychopath.
Yeah, and
people do try to seal
People do mail.
some-
The nudist is in here, and I'm sure he could tell us all about it. People do mail live animals.
Well, no, I mean it's okay to. There's certain animals where it's okay to mail them, and there's certain ones where it is not.
People have mailed children. I mean, I'm dead serious. Like an 1800s thing.
Yeah.
You know, when a mail ticket was. I mean, a stamp was cheaper than a train ticket.
No, it was an Airbud. It was an Airbud situation.
Oh, you never said you can't mail a child.
Yeah, ain't no rule says dog can't play ball. It's an Airbud situation. You know, they made a rule after that.
Yeah.
It was an Airbud situation. You could mail a kid for a while.
Different fucking world, dude.
Well, the thing. Okay, here's the thing. When people say that, it's like it sounds like people put the kids in boxes or something, but really,
no, they didn't.
You would just put like a label on the kid, and the kid would just be at the post office, and they would just get escorted to the destination they were being shipped to.
They would ride in the mail car with one of the postmen. Basically, they would just like sit in the mail car,
and it would be a weird thing for the postman to tell his wife that day.
Yeah, and it's like another Airbud situation I could think of is very recently there was a state, not like recently, but last 5-10 years, there was a state that passed one of these laws that basically said, if you have a baby, you can surrender it at a hospital, a fire station, or a police station, or one of several churches that volunteer.
Okay, wait, no. Let's take bets here. Okay, so who's got a guess about what the loophole where you never said I couldn't thing is going to be? Because my theory is you never said how old the kid had to be to qualify as a baby.
You win.
Okay.
You win.
I was going to take that.
The law basically just says you can surrender. And the thing is, when they did this, they put in things like these turntables where you open the door and you put the baby in, and when you close it, a light goes on inside. People know there's a baby
like that alone is unsettling.
But the thing is, it's like that was the idea. But then they had people bringing 13 and 14-year-olds to the hospital and like not telling the 13 or 14-year-old while they're there, and they would sit the kid down in the emergency room. And just say, "Stay here. I need to go talk to the nurse." And they'll go to the nurse, and they'll be like, "Do you see that kid over there in like the Packers shirt with the Air Jordans? I'm surrendering him. The law says I can do it here." And it was an Airbud situation because there was no age on the law, and for like months there was no age on the law. So like multiple teenagers got surrendered at hospitals.
Holy shit, dude. So I was getting ready to make a joke about people unloading their jobless adult children who wouldn't get out of the house that way.
No, it was teenagers.
But fully expecting this was going to be like toddlers.
No, teenagers.
That's
shitty little teens.
Fucked up. I mean, just the whole not telling me.
I mean, I don't think the teens are the shitty ones in this situation.
Like I'm terrified even thinking of that. That's horrifying. This is absolutely a nightmare.
Yep, but that's what was going down. They were fucking surrendering actual grown ass teens, like fucking near adult people.
It's like one of those heartbreaking scenes in a movie where like somebody drives their kid's pet out to the forest and sit there because they're a sociopath.
Yeah, serious. Oh my god. There was actually, you know how everyone's got like a Ring camera now, right? There was this woman who had one of those trail cams or a Ring cam or something like that on her property. And the reason she had it is people would be dumping trash on her property. And she was like, "What the fuck? Don't do that. I'm going to fucking catch you. You know, I'm going to get your license plate if the next person that does that." So they set it up in this like remote corner of their property. And they straight up caught like that classic ASPCA, you know, advertisement scene where a woman had like a golden retriever and she drove out to like right perfect in front of the camera. You could see her license plate, see her undeniable proof. She went into the back seat, you know, took her dog by the leash, walked the dog out of the car, walked the dog closer to the woods than the road goes, took off the collar, not just the leash, the collar, and then walked back to the car. The dog started to follow. She turned around and she did this with like, she waved her finger at it, which is like, you could hear her almost saying, "Stay," in your head. And the dog just stopped. And then she walked back to her car and got in and drove away.
It's absolutely horrible.
And the dog sort of stood there for a minute and watched the car go. And then its tail wagged for a minute. And then it looked around.
Fuck, dude.
And then it walked in the direction the car went, but then it stopped because the car was clearly gone. And then just sort of like turned around and walked off camera. And of course the woman saw this. So she not only went and got the dog, but she like put this bitch on blast. Like she went on Backdoor, not back.
Fucking good.
Is it Nextdoor? She went on Nextdoor. She was all like,
Backdoor is a different website.
Yeah, she went on Nextdoor. She went on Facebook. She went like, look what this fucking bitch did. And people, of course, since it was like community web pages, they're like, I know her, you know?
Okay.
And she made the fucking evening news. She got prosecuted. She was all like, well, it was sick and I couldn't afford the bills.
Fuck you.
I was like, no.
It's wild that I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's wild that everyone was making such a big deal about it when that happens all the time.
Oh, it happens every fucking day. But the thing is, it's still shocking to me, like how sociopathic some people can be about like these animals that rely on them for everything.
Yeah, like just the stories that we've heard about people like leaving pets behind.
Yeah.
Those fucking.
Yeah, I remember one story.
Knowing those.
I don't remember where I even read it.
Where I'm having a good night. I didn't spend this morning crying or anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should we stop?
Oh shit!
I'll stop.
Yeah, we don't need to be talking about this after.
We won't talk about pet abandonment and pet death anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, this is not what anybody.
But yeah, in short,
look, like the number has
gone down.
Like since we started talking about this.
Yeah, but in short, we want Lucy's skull. We want her skull. We want to keep her skull forever.
Because we're a weird pair of fucking goths.
We're weird goths.
Look at us. We're both wearing.
We're fucking middle-aged goths in all black.
You're always wearing.
I'm wearing.
I've sometimes got a t-shirt that's not black. Not today.
Not today though. And you know, I sincerely regret not getting my first dog's skull. Like to this day, I regret that.
We couldn't have afforded that shit.
We couldn't have afforded it back then, and I would have been self-conscious about asking. And
but we were gonna stop talking about this.
Sorry.
So actually,
yes.
How's everything been going here? While I've been having my fun.
We're drawing comics.
Yeah, I see.
And we were talking about comics until
I came in with story time.
My beautiful husband has ruined the vibe per usual.
Yeah.
My beautiful, excellent husband.
No, here's the thing. The vibe was actually pretty. No. The vibe was
the
fine.
story about breaking the fridge.
That was
fine. It's just we started to talk about dead pets.
The vibe is in shambles.
It wasn't the fridge part of the story. That was bad.
It was the dog abandonment, frankly. Frankly, it was once again, it was Spike.
And
my husband's getting up and leaving. He's getting up and leaving. Yeah.
I got a lot of eggnog to drink.
Oh, you bought eggnog.
I want eggnog.
Well,
Give me your
like
eggnog.
A month ago.
Oh, you know what it is,
I can't keep it at the office anymore because now I don't have a fridge there. So anyway, it's not even good eggnog.
Give me your eggnog.
You know what, too, it is, by the way, everybody? I just forgot. It's apple cider season.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Cider would be better than this eggnog.
I would not mind some apples. We just got groceries, so it's going to be a couple of weeks, but next time.
I am remembering the fridge fondly now.
Oh, God. My fucking fridge. God damn it.
Spike, when's the last time you saw that fridge? Tell me honestly. When's the last time I've seen that fridge more frequently than you?
The last time I saw that fridge is when we went for ALA to pick some shit up.
Yep, I have seen that fridge more frequently and more recently than you have.
Yes, I just...
If anything, I should be mourning that fridge. I had more of a relationship with that fridge.
Yeah, but I'm cheap, and so I'm upset that I have to buy a new fridge when I started the day with a perfectly good fridge.
That fridge is also ancient, ain't it?
Not perfectly good. That thing was on its way out.
I will shoot you if you do not leave.
There's a reason I had to bring this with me.
I will shoot you.
Spike, it was not a good fridge.
No one... Everyone, don't marry. Don't marry.
Too late, Spike. I already made that mistake.
Anyway,
I already fucked up.
Matt.
Anyway, I'm drawing comics about gay werewolves in the future. And I like them.
Good for you. I hope you would.
A thing that like
I hate these eyes.
Part of the reason why I like fantasy stuff is because I like it when shit isn't like our regular world.
Yeah, for sure.
And so while doing Sorcery 101 in the past, I realized the mundane aspects of that world were boring because I didn't change them enough. So City Between, even the regular stuff is the non-supernatural stuff is also different. So that is keeping my attention better than Sorcery 101 did. But also a thing that's fun is like thematically it's supposed to be like magic and shit clashing with technology. So that's fun to think of.
Yeah. I just like garbage people.
I do too.
I like shitty garbage dudes. I just love garbage dudes so much.
I love terrible people. As you know, Spike, my favorite Mad Men character is Pete Campbell, and he is a garbage man.
Yes.
He should be thrown in the trash. That is the correct place for him.
See, I like garbage characters too, but I need a reprieve for them. Again, that's why I keep calling this character Bobbin. I keep calling him Apology Roger. Because he's like alternate universe where Roger isn't a piece of shit. From my Love Me Nice comic is what I'm referring to. I mean, I have a character named Roger who's deliberately a piece of shit. I love him very much, but I would like a character who's like him, but not a piece of shit, and that's what Bobbin is. Bobbin's Apology Roger.
When I say I like garbage dudes, like I like a very specific kind of garbage dude. Like there's a kind of garbage dude that's very easy to find. I am hugely not a fan of, but I like. I guess. Oh God, what's the best way to put this? Basically, I like people who kind of like they manage to survive doing shitty things that in other circumstances they would not otherwise do, but because they were not given a choice, they do not hesitate to do that shitty thing. That is not super articulate, but it's what I like.
No, I understand what you're vibing with.
Like Bettany would not go out and recreationally murder anybody, but
I just
because of what happened,
really like people that are broken inside.
I really like people who are broken inside. Kel McDonald, 11/9/2023.
My birthday's in 10 days.
Yay.
Like I like characters that are that BoJack scene, nothing on the inside, nothing on the outside, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reluctant garbage men, chat says.
Also, there's this thing that happens to a lot of people. But again, since my focus right now is garbage men, I'm going to talk about what happens when it's garbage men. There are people who someone is nice to them, and suddenly they become obsessed with the one person who is nice to them. And they have never experienced that niceness from anyone before in their entire lives. So they think, oh my God, this is the only person who will ever be nice to me. Therefore, I have to be a complete fucking lunatic about them. I like that. And I cannot wait to get to that part of this story.
Yeah, I just like shitheads. Give me all the shitheads being... I especially appreciate when a lady is a shithead because they're rarer.
More lady shitheads.
Rare shithead trash ladies are rarer, and I appreciate them. Part of why I really like the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is because the main character of that show is just a terrible person. She's horrible. She's peppy and upbeat while doing terrible, horrible things.
There we go. This hat from the back sucks. Okay. It's a sack hat, so it has no shape, so I have to fucking figure it out.
I like the musical Amanda's writing. Huh? What's the musical, Amanda?
I don't know. I missed that one. I didn't know you were writing a musical.
It's probably in reference to something not me.
Yeah.
It's probably a different Amanda.
Reluctant garbage man. Yes, reluctant garbage man. That's my jam. That's my vibe. That's my preoccupation. And yeah, it's like every comic I do has like multiple reluctant garbage men, and I just fucking love them. I married one, right, dear? Yeah.
No, he is not a garbage man.
No, he's not. He's a gentle baby. Matt
I was
is not a
about to
garbage
say.
man. Matt is genuinely.
I make jokes about Matt, but I'll fight for his honor right now.
Oh, absolutely. He is absolutely the sweetest, gentlest man I have ever known. That is not an exaggeration. It is bizarre.
I was singing about generalizations. Okay. It was me who was the musical. Okay.
Oh, okay. I can imagine a very good off-Broadway musical that just has the chorus generalization.
I this webcomic is kind of my like it's kind of I think the with Love Me Nice, I think a lot of characters like, oh, I really want to draw this type of character. I really want to just there's a not spite behind Porama designs, but more just like very quiet fuck you. Very, very quiet, gentle fuck yous, because it's like I'm more like there's this one character who Twill, who is a big old I'm sick of this shit, fuck y'all. I had my last fucking straw, and then I made him. I got real tired. I just get real tired of a certain type of like effeminate dude always being a villain. Always is a villain. If there's especially in kids media, it's just if a dude is effeminate, gay or otherwise, he's always a villain, and I'm getting sick of it, and I'm getting tired of it. And I basically designed him after I'm not going to say which comic right now, but basically there was a mainstream comic where I saw a character design. I was like, oh, that's a really good design. Oh, this character's really cool. Oh, they were kind of an effeminate dude character. And I was like, oh, I really like their design. And then I went to read the comic, and oh, he's a villain, of course. And I was like, fuck it, never mind. I'm gonna have my own. And then I decided Twill. He's my not spite. I don't think spite is the word.
It's okay. Spite is very very.
But who am I spiting? That's the thing. I don't think spite is the word behind the motivation. That's why I call them my fuck you characters. Like fuck you.
Maybe if I move him up. Yeah, we're going to fudge this a little because they are not quite this far apart in the actual scene. But if I want to get the text and the characters in the scene together, I'm going to have to...
Oh, I fake it constantly. I never care how close characters actually are. I'm constantly lying.
Okay.
I've said it once. I will say it again. All of drawing and art is lying. All of it.
Yeah. Yep.
None of this is real.
And I'm going to just sort of move the text around a little bit.
Fake
this
everything.
Will not take up this much.
As long as the vibes are right, that's all that matters. Fake everything. Who cares?
Why is it? And then this can go down here.
How long have we been streaming?
Because you have to worry about reading. You have to worry about reading order too. So we'll go up here.
That's why I do my word balloons first now.
Yeah. I am organizing where things will go right now using my scroll.
Yeah, I do it even before I finish the pencils now, because I got so tired of like drawing on something that disappeared under a word balloon. Like, no.
Yeah.
Never again.
Don't do this, by the way. This is all wrong. You shouldn't do it this way.
You can do it any way you want. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is why.
No one's stopping you.
Yeah, I am not streamlined. I am not efficient. This is just.
That's the goal with art, to be efficient.
Bless your heart of it. Oh, no accuracy, just vibes. Yeah, pretty much, just vibes.
That is like, I used to be much like, one of the reasons like I don't like our old podcast is because so many of my opinions have changed since then. And I definitely was more of a stickler for certain things, and like as time's gone on, I'm like, no, fuck it, fuck everything, fuck it, no, who cares?
I'm going to actually.
No, who cares about realism? Who cares about accuracy? Who cares about anatomy? Fuck it, it's all vibes. Who cares?
There we go.
All vibes. Everything's vibes. Me not care.
Okay. So that's that.
I I'm the opposite. I'm still a stickler for bullshit.
Okay.
There was someone who there's a thing going around Tumblr that was like there are two types of writers. And one is Tolkien being like, this is the history of this rock and why this rock is important, and like what this means for the world that this rock exists.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is C.S. Lewis being like, and then Santa showed up and gave the beavers marmalade, and Tolkien being like, where did they get the marmalade though? And it's like, how do they have marmalade? And they're like, it's from Santa Claus.
Look, as long as the vibes are immaculate, it does not matter. Now, if you mess up the vibes, that's when people start like I've always said it. You know how there will be like a famous movie with a mistake in it that like people don't notice for years, and it's like, yes, because you were enjoying yourself. Like you didn't notice the mistake because you were enjoying yourself, and that's why it ends up in listicles like you didn't notice this one thing. But then if it's a bad movie,
were immaculate.
Yeah, because the vibes were immaculate. But if it's a bad movie, you're not gonna be as immersed, and you're gonna notice everything wrong that bad movie does. Or not even just movies. I'm using movies as an example because that's what, you know.
I remember watching a Red Letter Media review of Zack Snyder's like Zombies in Vegas movie. And they pointed out that there were a lot of dead pixels in the camera that they were like filming with. Because there's always like a black pixel that like doesn't move. It's always in the same spot, and they're like, now we're only noticing this because the movie is boring and we don't care about what's going on.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Like there's a lot of stuff that happens where it's like, if the movie is not, if you're not invested in it, you're gonna like notice things more. Whereas like, you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't even notice that character like was wearing a like. There was a Coke in that scene because like, no, you were too invested. You cared about like the characters and the story, and you were looking where the camera wanted you to look. But if you're bored, your eyes are going to wander, and you're like, wait a second, that's a shoelace.
I was just thinking, by the way, Kel, where you're talking about how can I elegantly introduce that this character is trans without, stopping the story to go, by the way. And that was actually a big old concern of mine too in Blockada for a while, because I was like, the thing is, the big problem with writing these three fucking idiots is that they have known each other literally all their entire lives, so there are things they simply have no reason to mention. And one of them is that Ta is a third gender, so it's like it doesn't come up because why would it? And I was sitting there like, well, fuck, what am I gonna do? And then I realized what was going to happen. It's going to be great because like one of the themes of Blockada is, and it's actually going to be the next scene right after this one, pretty much. One of the themes of Blockada is that it's pretty obvious that Bettany, Eki, and Ta are kind of low on the ladder, low on the social pyramid. And they, exactly how low they are will be built upon in the next chapter. They're pretty much as low as you can get without being literal slaves. And the way that this world, rather not even this world, because no culture is global, but the way that this culture is that over the centuries, because this is kind of how societies default, over the centuries their kind of social system has degraded into something where it's almost, I hate saying this, but it's what I think of mentally. It's almost sort of Tales of Gore level. And people who know what I'm fucking talking about just went, oh!
I don't.
Because there is a series of fantasy novels called like Stories from Gore or Tales from Gore.
And it's all about how women want to be dominated.
Women want to be dominated.
They might say that they don't.
Yeah.
But those women are liars.
Exactly.
And they don't know their own brain. all women want to be submissive.
Yeah, exactly. And basically,
to another woman,
one of the elements of that is it's super easy, super duper easy for a freeborn woman to just become like a slave immediately. Like it just like falling into slavery is like falling off a log. Like that's how easy it is if you are a woman in the world of gore. It's just gonna happen to you. And yeah, exactly. It's like it's fucking horrible. But anyway.
Exactly. Yikes, Spike.
That is kind of the thing that's going on in this society, where basically upward mobility is functionally impossible now in a way that's not like explicitly said, but functionally in every way. There is no upward mobility. They can never kind of get higher than where they are, barring a literal fucking miracle. But it's going to be really easy for them to slip lower. And their entire young lives, because they're not that old, they don't know how old they are. That's another thing that kind of a lot of people gloss over in these stories about sort of pre-information age societies. A lot of people weren't super clear on how old they were, and these guys don't know how old they are. But Bettany is probably not older than 25, but he's been dealing with this like his entire life. And this story is going to open. I mean, it opened with, you know, them robbing somebody and him killing somebody, but it is going to close. This chapter in particular is going to close with him losing the last pinky grip on that, you know, I am not actually someone's property. And that is going to coincide with the discussion of Ta's particular gender presentation and their third gender role, because they are actually fairly valuable. Ta, like I said before, they're fairly valuable because this is not common in their society, and Ta, simply by being what they are, is useful to the society as sort of an emissary that can go between tents, essentially. And Eki knows that, and Bettany knows that, and they know that, you know, people would not mind getting their hands on Ta, because that Ta, again, would be not just useful, but almost sort of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Status symbol, I guess, is a useful thing to say. Like, so they don't want that to happen, and it's important to them that doesn't happen. But guess what? Oh well. Anyway, and what's going to happen is essentially Ta is going to have to be explained to some outsiders who have an academic understanding of this culture, but no practical understanding of this culture. And so they're going to be very excited to see Ta, because they're going to be very, I didn't know they did this anymore. And that way they get to sort of like, there is this, it's going to be partially inspired by a Rebecca Sugar comic, of all things, by the way. Rebecca Sugar did a comic years and years ago. If you're lucky, you can still find it, called Space Pug Johnson, I think it's called. And
Pug Davis.
Pug Davis. Thank you. Pug Davis. And Pug Davis.
You can just outright buy it, I thought.
Yeah, it got reprinted recently. Pug Davis has a sidekick, and the sidekick is named the Blouse. And the Blouse was bullied by the ground crew at NASA, who launched him into space as bullying, essentially. And the Blouse is queer. And there is a shapeshifter who tries to weasel their way onto Pug Davis's spaceship, and they do it by trying to seduce the Blouse. So they kind of change themselves into this little Betty Boop looking thing, and they show up, and they at a bar, and they walk up to the Blouse, and they're like, "Hi, handsome. I haven't seen you around this space station before." And before they can finish, he goes, "Oh my God, is that what they're wearing on Earth these days? You look adorable. I love your shoes. But last space station we stopped at, they didn't have them in my size. So tell me all about what's going on." And the shapeshifter just pauses and then stops and lights up and goes, "Oh, I've read about this." Leaves, goes around the corner, and Blouse is like, "Oh, where are you going?" It's like, "Oh," and then it comes back as like this incredibly handsome dude. And I just thought it was incredibly funny that the space alien is like, oh, I've read about this, and then goes transmogrifies into like a greaser dude to seduce the blouse. And I want that sort of, oh, I've read about this moment in Placata when someone's looking at like Todd, just like, oh shit, they still do this. This is incredible. And of course, it's like, it's Todd's life, and he has no idea what they're fucking talking about. Because these are people who, you know, are born, live their entire lives, and die in the same 20-mile radius. So, like, who the fuck is this person?
So the next City Between story, to get into like the whole using other people as status symbol thing. So one of the characters in City Between, Rebecca, is a werewolf that is hired as a bodyguard. A lot. And in the next story, it's going to be like explicitly explained that she doesn't usually get hired by people who need supernatural protection. She usually gets hired the same way celebrities will show off they have like a pet cheetah. So it's like extravagant and ridiculous and over the top. So like when she is in like the second scene when she's getting interviewed by her next client, she basically has two different rates that she charges, and one is like the lower rate is if you actually need help, but if you are going to use her to show off how ridiculously wealthy you are, she's going to charge you up the ass.
How correct.
And just sort of like, that's the agreement.
Yikes, Spike. Thank you.
I read that out loud to you.
I'm always yikesing. I'm always inappropriate.
I know.
Can't believe I have to buy a new fucking fridge. I'm so fucking pressed. I'm not fucking made of money.
Alan Lord, I stream every Tuesday, and I sometimes stream on Wednesdays. But yeah, I usually am drawing while doing those streams.
Yeah, I should draw during
Tuesday stream is me and my buddy Alina and my other buddy Joe.
I mean, we could do this more often.
And we usually just talk about whatever bullshit we've read or watched that week.
Like this could be just how we do geek shows.
Yeah.
Another fun thing with I get into like people's perception of werewolves more and more as City Between comes out, because it's like Connor is supposed to be sort of like the poster child for werewolves, so he cares like a lot about what people think and how he's coming off, and it's very intentional because he's aware that like most people, Connor's gonna be the only werewolf that they even know exists. And kind of, so he is sort of taking it upon himself to be the epitome of respectability politics.
Ew.
For good and bad. And a funny scene that I'm gonna put in the next comic that he's in is he gets a haircut basically because someone tells him he looks like the lead singer of a boy band.
To be fair, I'd probably get a haircut if someone told me that too.
It depends on who they're talking about.
Like, I'm picturing, I don't know about you, but I'm picturing like Justin Timberlake during his ramen hair years.
That is kind of the haircut that Connor has.
Well, there you go.
He's kind of got like light Yanagami hair.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
So I was doing designs of what he would look like after his haircut, and I was trying to think of what is a really boring ass white bread haircut for him to have.
Mm-hmm.
So I Googled what Pete Buttigieg's hair is, what his haircut is.
Well, yeah, if you want a fucking dork, there you go. Every time I draw something in like CSP that's like slightly complicated, it's always this negotiation of like, okay, at what point will I decide, okay, stop trying to fucking freehand this and get the mannequins out? And I always like consider, you know, it's like I don't want to become over reliant on them. So I try to figure stuff out without them. Even though I do have custom mannequins for each of these little idiots. Because I don't want to just be that person that literally can't draw them doing anything unless I have the mannequin, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just be like me, make little animal people.
My headphones keep cutting out, so I'm going to change my headphones. But I'll be back.
Sure, no problem. Also, coming up on the next page, or not the next page, like a page coming up soon is going to be a really nice double page spread, and I can't wait to get to that one, because you are going to see what people in their culture who are well-to-do look like. Because these guys, you don't realize it because you have no basis for comparison, but these guys look like fucking trash. It's like their clothes are kind of like wrinkly and stuff, but like you don't know how awful they actually look, and I can't wait to get to that. It's gonna be fun.
I'm back.
Welcome.
I'm looking.
I just shared what Connor looks like. What are you looking forward to in your comic, Amanda?
I forget.
Oh, sorry for interrupting.
This is all
Thank
right.
you, Daryl.
It
has been a good stream this week, and all I had to do was.
Oh yeah. No, something. It's like I keep not knowing what to talk about because I'm so not used to talking about my comics anymore out loud that like I kind of
practice.
I'm still talking.
Okay.
That I'm still getting used to it again, and I kind of take for granted what I've said and what I haven't said. But so that's why I'm like, oh wait, I should talk about my comic. Wait, okay, I keep forgetting to do it. Something I'm looking forward to eventually is, again, there's nobody. There's like what? How many people watching? 8? Yeah, no one's gonna remember.
Spoiler the shit out of it.
This chapter is the last time anyone is gonna see a human for basically the rest of the comic, except for like one instance.
Good.
And that is plot relevant. And it's one of those things where it's like, I hope people notice. It's gonna be important later.
I have so many fucking moments like that. Or I hope people
notice that this is the last time you see a human.
Yeah.
And what that fucking means.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm constantly thinking about here is like, let me just, if I can find it, is it gonna be on here? No, it's gonna. Yeah. I am constantly trying to subtly show Bettany is really big. Like, compared to his siblings, he's actually really big. Because this is him kneeling so that his brother can reach his head. And this is him kneeling down. It's like, he would be, like, if we're going to talk in, like, human height level, like, he would be, like, 6'6", maybe. He's, like, just unusually big, especially for someone who didn't have an easy childhood with like a lot of red meat and shit. You know, he was on the struggle bus between the ages of like 5 and 15 in a big way, but he still turned out really big. And part of that is because his size, he has a mild form of a weird inbreeding thing that goes on in his family, because he comes from a really shitty, awful family. So there's inbreeding going on because nobody else would fuck them. And he literally has a syndrome. He has a mild expression of.
I don't know what that means, Lele. Oh, sorry. Last time we'll see a human.
Oh. I was gonna read it. Go ahead, Amanda, you can read it.
That's fine.
Okay. But yeah.
Spike, Lele said, last time we'll see a human makes me think of these cuties are doing a Lath of Heaven approach to problem solving.
Don't know what that means.
I also don't know what that means.
Is it
so
lathe?
Layla, you should
explain. Yeah, but
Lathe?
It's his gigantism, his mild gigantism is actually tied to the stripes, like they're expressed on the same gene. And he doesn't know this. He doesn't know this because, again, why would he know this? He's a fucking bumpkin. He can't even read. And it gets expressed to him. So imagine it's like for the first time you're among people who like kind of look you up and down and basically say, huh, so you got so-and-so syndrome, huh?
Lathe of Heaven is a Legeen story. Oh yeah, I haven't read that one.
And so he gets many unpleasant shocks when he is among learned people for the first time. One of which is like, you're horribly fucking inbred, right? And that's why you look like that. And that's why you're bigger than everyone. Like, you don't have the worst kind because you don't have like
main
extra
character
fingers.
Can rewrite reality. Oh, I wish it wasn't overpopulated and then most people die. No, nothing like that.
Okay.
No, everyone's just a furry instead of a person.
No, there are humans. It's just they're only in one place, and it's plot relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Nudist.
Spike, you didn't look at Connor's boy band hair. I posted a page in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I will look at it when I'm done drawing because I'm kind of in the zone and I have 1,000 windows open. No, again, there's only a few people. Unless y'all give a shit about spoilers for a webcomic, I'm not gonna have available to read till at least next year.
Yeah, seriously.
Basically, unbeknownst to the main character, these characters basically live on an island that time resets can't touch. Every time the timeline gets super goofy, it just goes, okay, we're gonna reset. But what it resets to be the new normal changes every time because it kind of time isn't smart and it doesn't remember things. It's just a mechanic. So sometimes it's like, people were furries, right? Right? That's right. Okay, then that's how it's gonna be. So, but not but when it resets, not everybody gets put back in the timeline, and they just sort of get kind of like tossed into the void. You just don't exist anymore. You're like a paper. You're cut out. You don't. And the person who runs this island basically pulls people from the void, so they can be here instead. And brain farty. And what was I gonna say? See, I'm not good at talking and drawing anymore. It's like I forgot how to do it.
You need practice.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, and that's why the people on this island are like. There's a lot of people on this island that are a type of person or race or species that you are never gonna see again once they leave this island. There's gonna be like dragons on this island and stuff because again, because they're from different. Like, not timelines because it's not a timeline. It's just a different iteration of the world. It's not a multiple timelines things. It's just the timeline, the fabric of time gets real tangled up, and when it untangles itself and sews it back together, it doesn't always do it the same way twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that checks out.
So it's not a multiple timelines or multiverse thing. It's more just you are from a version you're from like version 3.0 of Earth, and it doesn't exist anymore. You are incompatible with it, and you can't live there anymore.
Yeah, that checks out. Spike, he does have like boy band hair, but like not
timeline changed. Amanda forgot what comics does. It's true.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be like, that's why it's ridiculous that he then cuts his hair after getting told that it looks like boy band hair. Because it's fine. Like, he's being ridiculous by thinking that it needs to be even more white bread and vanilla than it already is.
Okay.
He's also told that he's too tall. Because he is 6'6".
Oh, there you go.
The person criticizing him is like, yeah, no, being over 6 feet does make you more impressive, but after a certain point, too tall becomes threatening rather than impressive, and so you're just too tall. And this person also tells him he should have been a fireman rather than a cop because no one hates firemen.
I'm mostly just sitting here now, like weighing what to say because it's like there's fucking. I've been thinking of this story obsessively for literally a decade, and I know what comes next, but I don't want to kill the momentum or ruin what comes next. But at this point, it's like I've tried not telling anyone, and that hasn't made me work any faster. so maybe there's no point in keeping it secret. And so
honestly, what gets me going is just really facing the fact if I don't make it, it literally will not exist.
Yeah, that is definitely a thing. Because the thing about Blokada, and okay, here's the thing: we're all trying to survive under capitalism. Blah blah.
No,
blah.
Not again. We've talked. No.
Yeah, and the thing about Blokada is, I know this is not a story that's sellable in any significant way. It's it's really fucking weird, and it's really it's going to be very slow, and it's going to be very indulgent because it's going to be exactly what I want it to be, and that's it. And I'm going to make it in black and white, which is blow number 1, and it's gonna be fucking me going, hey, you know what's cool? Fucking Siberian Revolution and Steppe Horsemen, and references to fucking romantic era paintings and the October Revolution, and also the futility of revolution, and statements about how revolution leaves behind those who proposed, and it also corrupts, and how it is often co-opted by the most see, people are already fucking tired. But you know what? That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. My stupid fucking comic about elves who are kind of, but not really, Cossacks, but not really, also Mongols, but not really, and also they have fucking caste system, but not really. And
tell us about your Keebler elves.
Yeah, because they live under a tree. Yeah, someone pointed out. I think it might have been Kel.
I thought it was me.
It was.
Yeah, that they live.
It was on the show. So
and this fucking dude wears this hat, so he's the head Keebler elf. Basically, okay, so there's this thing called a marsupial lion. I forget the scientific name, but I have had that in my head for a long...
tiger?
No, it's a marsupial lion. It's extinct.
Yeah.
Well, they're different things, Amanda. So the marsupial lion went extinct.
It was
hundreds of thousands.
Gotcha.
It's like a mega sloth, whereas the Tasmanian tigers still made it so humans could take pictures of it.
Yeah.
So while both extinct, it's extinct the way a woolly mammoth is extinct.
No, I just I got the animals mixed up. I understand.
And so basically, these guys kind of evolved from something that was like that. It was like a pack animal. They evolved from this carnivore thing. And it's not strictly carnivorous, it's omnivorous, but there are animals out there that are strictly carnivorous, air quotes, but a wolf will eat a watermelon. That's the way I see it, and that's kind of how
Cow will eat a bird.
There you go. And they are kind of marsupials, which is why, let's see if where's that?
They got pouches.
That's why that thing on Taw's chest is a pouch. And part of the reason part of the reason Ta has this incredibly wide belts that they wear is it is in their culture, that's what you wear when you are part of this third gender, which is just kind of this isn't here anymore. That's what that basically signifies.
So it's a binder.
Yeah, it's kind of a binder. It's a this thing is off limits. It's not going to be used. There will never be a baby in it because this person is not doing women's things. And so, yeah, it's basically kind of sort of a binder. Eki and Bettany also wear belts, but the belts, keep their shirts closed. So this one has more of a...
Mine keeps my pants up.
And because it's like a third gender, no one like is surprised when they see Ta. Like this is again a thing that happens in their culture. So people around where they are, they see from a mile away, oh okay, and that's why it's kind of dangerous. Ta doesn't really go out alone because Ta could be fucking kidnapped and enslaved any second. Because it's cool to have a Ta. and Bettany is kind of very hands-on with Ta because of that. Also, he fucking murders to keep Ta safe a lot. And he doesn't want Ta to know that he murders to keep Ta safe a lot, because then Ta will definitely start murdering too. And Ta doesn't have any murdering practice, so Ta would probably be bad at it.
I mean, there's one way to get practice.
There's only one way. He's not willing for Ta to find out he murders because he does not want Ta going, me too. He needs to maintain some kind of fiction that he has some level of decency left, and yeah, so that's what that's about. And honestly, Eki is kind of a shithead, so if Eki found out he was killing people, he would never hear the fucking end of it from him. So
you say that like that makes him like, I'll never let you. That makes Eki the shithead.
Well, Eki he calls him names and he's mean, and the thing I haven't gone into
he's
about
mean
Eki,
to the murderer.
The thing I haven't gone into about Eki specifically, and again, this is a lot of Asian kind of inspiration of like the South Asia and sort of the Indian subcontinent as well. There, and frankly, a lot of like medieval Catholicism goes into it too. Eki looks fucking terrible because Eki does a lot of self-mortification. And that's a thing in their culture. The self-mortification is a thing in their culture. It's why when Bettany shows up with food, he gives it to the little fat kid and not his super skinny brother, because his super skinny brother doesn't fucking want it and won't eat it, because that's not what he does. And that's why he has a torn earlobe, and that's why he has a David Bowie eye, and that's why he has scars. And that's why he has very little hair compared to his brother, because he has super duper malnutrition, but it's voluntary. And it's spiritual. So if you have seen statues of like the starving Buddha, or you hear about gurus in India who go like months and months without eating, that's what Eki's doing. Eki does that because he thinks it makes him closer to the spirit world, and he thinks it makes him more receptive to the spirit world because it makes him closer to being dead. And so he is a dude who thinks that the more miserable he is physically, the more capable he is spiritually. And this is a sentiment that is shared across multiple religions over multiple periods of time. And I should note, he's kind of off the grid when it comes to the religion of these people. He is not anyone's apprentice. He's just kind of doing this on his own. He's kind of like the guy who, in the Middle Ages, like, reads the Bible without any fucking, priest there to tell him what it all means. He is figuring it out by himself using sort of the rudimentary techniques of his culture. And that's not okay, but no one's going to stop it. And people might be skeptical that he is capable of anything, but the thing is, he is just insane looking enough that you kind of maybe don't want to take that chance that he's not as in touch with the spirit world as he says he is. Because where they come from, gods are bad things. Gods are things that accumulate like cockroaches and fuck up your life, which is part of why he said that maybe the house is burning because it's full of gods, and that's how they get rid of gods. They burn the house down. And gods attach themselves to people like leeches, and the more people.
So it's like the aliens in Scientology.
A little bit. And he does not like gods. Nobody in their culture likes gods. They don't think gods help them. They don't think gods look out for them or anything. They think of them as basically spiritual mosquitoes. And part of Eki's job in his own mind is to stop the gods from looking at them. And an important part of that is being as horrific looking as possible. So he is trying to, because he thinks the gods are looking at them too much, and that's why their lives suck. That's his personal, like, they're all dealing with being on the bottom rung of the social hierarchy in their own way. And Todd's basically ignoring it because he doesn't remember being any different. And Bettany is kind of running interference to make sure they don't all get fucking snuffed out like candles. And as far as Eki is concerned, he is single-handedly making sure they aren't all squashed like bugs by like an accumulation of excess gods. Because killing people is not the only bad thing Bettany does, and we'll go into that. He does things that ostensibly in any culture,
I'm shocked.
In any culture, would make the gods super angry at you.
I'm shocked that the man who does murders does other bad things.
Well, he doesn't want to.
Who could have foreseen that?
Also, do they have bifurcated genitals? They've got stuff going on. They do not have penises and vaginas. I'll say that much. Not as we would know them. Spike, are they born as little pinkies? Yeah, they are. They are not born fully developed.
Oh, do they have to migrate to the nipple on their own?
They do not migrate on their own on account they have hands. They're scooped up. But there's also sort of like they also have this sort of element of in ancient Sparta, if the baby was born, they'd poke it and look at it and be all like, is this baby worth raising? And if they decided not, they would literally fling it off a cliff. There's kind of an element of that for these guys too. The way they reproduce is very controlled, and that's because if you don't want to have a baby right now, you basically you just leave it in the grass for a bird or something. Like, it comes out the size of an Idaho potato. It's really nothing significant.
Thank you for telling us about your fetish, Spike.
Always happy to do so. But yeah. They also have twins, but they don't raise twins. They only raise one. At least this culture does, I should know. So
throw the other twin away.
Yeah, they consider it like flypaper for the gods. Just this one sucks. I don't like this one. Let's put it over here, and maybe all the gods will stick to it, and we'll leave it there.
Ouch.
I had some fun coming up with different.
By the way, we've been going for 2 hours.
Oh, oops.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I can keep going.
I have work to do tonight still.
Okay.
So I can't keep going.
Oh, okay. Well, we can cut it here, and we could just do this again.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Would you folks like to watch us draw again next time?
Well, next time is Alina's coming on as a guest to wrap up IndigiNerds. Everyone go support and back IndigiNerds. It is on BackerKit right now. Give it your dollars.
It feels good to talk about this stupid fucking shit.
I mean, we can also do other streams another time. They don't have to be geek shows. You can poke me sometime.
That's more original than more marsupial. But they are. It's like their dentition is weird too, because I don't know if you folks have like just Google like marsupial lion and look at their teeth. I really like marsupial lion teeth because they're weird, and you'll kind of see if I zoom in on Ta's face here. Ta has kind of, it's not human dentition. He has very marsupial lion inspired dentition. Rather, they have very marsupial lion inspired dentition. Yeah. And I'm still kind of torn, like what level of sexual dimorphism there is going to be totally, because these guys haven't opened their mouths super wide enough yet that I could show you. So, but yeah, I'm still like figuring shit out on the page. I'm a big proponent of not having to have everything figured out by the time you're drawing. I think that kind of
no,
that depends. That really depends.
Yeah. I like to have stuff planned out because I like having a plan. It helps me work faster because I know what I'm doing. What I've started doing is after I write the script for a book, I sit down and I figure out where each scene takes place, and then I do like some concept art for that location. Because otherwise, I realized I tend to repeat myself. Like, if you told me draw a living room, for just draw one right now. I need you to draw me a living room. I will draw like unintentionally the same living room or something pretty close to it. So even though it's just like different people's apartments, it's like sitting down and planning like, okay, so this is what this person should have in their apartment, helps me flesh out like the backgrounds a little bit more. My favorite thing that I did recently is there was a divorced guy whose whole apartment needs to have divorced dad energy. And my favorite detail I put in there was a bench press that was covered with pizza boxes and dirty laundry.
But it is 10 and
yeah,
it is 10
because that detail tells a story. You understand that he bought that with aspirations that were quickly drowned in pizza and dirty laundry.
It's storytelling. It's show don't tell.
Yeah, exactly.
But thank you for watching us draw, everyone. I super appreciate it. As Kel mentioned before, we currently have a crowdfund, we being Iron Circus Comics. We currently have a crowdfund running right now for Indigenerds, edited by Alina Pete, who you may already know from Woman in the Woods and other North American stories. Indigenerds are tales of modern Indigenous life. We are coming up on our $35,000 stretch goal, at which point we will donate a whole bunch of copies of Indigenerds to Indigenous libraries all over North America of Alina's choosing, and we'd really like to hit that one, folks. So if you could spread the word about Indigenerds, it ends in about a week, so you still have plenty of time to back, and you can back it and also grab yourself a copy of Woman in the Woods as an add-on while you do so. That would be great. As for me, the comic you have been watching me draw is called Blacada. It's a story about 3 thieves who are eventually banished from the only world they know and are forced to partake in revolution beyond the horizon. I am 40-something pages in. I hate every single page that's currently up, but I am so eager to tell this story, I will not allow myself to redraw them. Please go to blacada.com to read it. Blikada, blacada.com. Blacada is a word that does not mean anything. It used to, but now it doesn't.
My name's Kel. I make comics that you can read at kelmcdonald.com. If you were watching my stream, then you saw me draw the current arc of The City Between, which is called Shards of Reflection. It is now about a newbie vampire trying to figure out which memories are theirs, because in City Between world, when vampires eat people, they get their memories. So it's a little bit more experimental in storytelling than I usually do. So I don't know if it's successful in its storytelling, but I'm having fun drawing it. And all of my shit is linked on my website, so you can go get it there.
Amanda Lafrene, AmandaLafrene.com, LAFRENAIS. The link is in the description. Also, AmandaLafrene.com is actually my Blue Sky name, and I have, in my description, it has a link to where to find me everywhere, because I'm still got my website rebuild on the back burner. I've been drawing, well, they're more like loose pencils. I'm tightening up before I ink. But I've been working on pages for Parima. The full title technically is Parima and the Loom on the Horizon. It is a webcomic I want to launch next year that is more all ages. Not necessarily for kids, but more general audiences, I guess, relative to the other stuff I've done. It's like, it's cute, god damn it. It's cute. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you so much, everyone. We will draw next time too. This has been really great. Please,
well, not next time.
Well,
no, next time is talking with Alina.
It's Alina time.
But we will
But
do this
after Alina
again.
time. After Alina time, we will
Yeah.
definitely do this again. I don't know why I don't draw every time we do this. Anyway.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everyone. Like, subscribe.
Bye.
Okay, I have to turn everything off. Give me a second. I have 1,000 windows open. We are still